Alright guys, hey there, this is Burt from SoftTubes and more trailer reactions are coming, all of them out of Comic-Con. There's a lot to catch up on and I have very limited time to record because I'm back at work for the week, so I'm going to try and fit them in as much as I can during the week. And so, next up we have the Watchmen official Comic-Con trailer. So let's jump on in and see how this looks.
This is a stick-up!
Okay.
Who are you?
Who am I? If I knew the answer to that, I wouldn't be wearing a mask.
There are people who believe that this world is fair and good. It's all lollipops and rainbows. We don't do lollipops and rainbows. We know those are pretty colors that just hide what the world really is. Black and white.
Soon thou shalt save us, and we will whisper, no.
We convinced ourselves that they were gone, but they were just hibernating. They came for everybody. All, please.
Oh. Okay.
Coordinated simultaneous attacks at the homes of Tulsa PD. So the cops hide their faces, and now the bad guys don't know where they live.
Okay, makes
Who
sense.
doesn't want a secret identity?
Ta-da!
People who wear masks are dangerous. We should be scared of them.
Why?
Because they're hiding something.
Lori Blake, FBI. You know how you can tell the difference between a masked cop and a vigilante?
No.
Me neither.
There is a vast and insidious conspiracy at play. If I told you about it, your head would explode.
Who are you?
Maybe, I'm Dr. Manhattan.
He lives on fucking Mars.
You curse too much.
Oh, shit!
Nothing ever ends. It's only just begun.
Huh. It's weird because the teaser left me with a lot of questions about how things fit. Got some answers here. More questions. So, one of the big things was why were the cops wearing masks? And now makes sense. So the Rashad group look like they are the bad guys. Like they're kind of like anarchist types from what it looks like here. And I think they're definitely trading on the sort of incel white supremacist movements type image a little bit. I think that's definitely in play here. But yeah, they're not meant to be the good guys, I don't believe. Because it looks like the main character is a cop. Which will be interesting. Given how the Watchmen franchise deals with authority figures. There's part of me that sitting through that trailer was looking at a lot of it and going, did this need to be Watchmen? Because there's not a lot there that's specific to Watchmen. It's kind of a thing. So they could have just done their own superhero critique, and then people would have compared it to Watchmen probably. And I suppose in a way, maybe it is a more uniquely Watchmen thing than I'm giving it credit for, because I don't know if this is a way you could do a superhero critique and people would just accept it if it was an original IP. With Watchmen, you already have an understanding of how that sort of a world works, so you can accept this a bit more. This idea of the vigilantes and all that. Whereas, yeah, when you're doing like a superhero thing that's new, you kind of need to hinge a little bit more on the tropes to make sure people are willing to buy into your world. I'm not saying you have to every time, but it tends to help a fair bit. Like, Brightburn heavily holds on to the tropes of a Superman type figure to try and sell that film, or the world of that film, to the audience. So you're like, okay, I understand it because I'm familiar with enough of these elements. And it's kind of like this, I don't know, would work maybe without Watchmen the more I think about it. If it didn't have that tie. And there was part of me that was sitting there like, I don't know, like, is the Watchmen were a group? That was kind of the point. Like, there's not really, like, there's a cop, but there's not really the same sort of thing going on. And then it looks at the end like very big hints to Dr. Manhattan coming back, which is a pretty big thing that happened. I'm really interested to see where they take this. It's another HBO show, so like his Dark Materials, I may not get to watch it for a while after it comes out. So, and if it's anything like Game of Thrones, I will know everything about it. Hopefully, I'm actually kind of hoping it doesn't get as big as Game of Thrones, simply so I don't get everything spoiled. The last season of Game of Thrones, I never have to see. I know everything that happened in that, and I wasn't trying to look for it. I was actually trying to avoid it, but it was everywhere. So, yay. Whereas, yeah, this I don't think is going to, so I could probably avoid spoilers and things until I can get a chance to watch it. I'm keen to at least give it a try. I don't know whether this is necessarily something I want to watch. It looks cool, it looks pretty interesting. I don't know if it's for me right now. I think this is the kind of thing I would have preferred to have had 5 years ago, just for my mind space on these sort of things. Like, this is a show 5 years ago I would have been totally super into. Now I'm kind of like, alright. I'm kind of like, it still looks interesting and I still want to check it out. I don't know if it's something that could hold me for a whole season necessarily. I could be wrong, and I could watch it and be completely sold and want to binge the whole thing in one session, because it's happened before with things. It's just, yeah, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it. Like, I'm pretty positive for the most part, but it's not completely there. There's a few things that I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know how this is working. And a lot of that is coming down to questioning. There's still a lot of mystery here, especially around things that I think I'd rather have known right now. Particularly about the basic structure of who our main characters are. Whether it's trying to be a good versus evil type deal. Like, I doubt it's going to be that simple. The main character makes a comment about the world is actually black and white. Watchmen actually proves that the world isn't black and white. Black and white is a superhero ideal that Watchmen goes out of its way to go, yeah, that's not how the world is. So superheroes are naive to believe that way. So I'm pretty sure she will be proven wrong throughout the series. Like, it's not going to be that simple. But then maybe it can be. I don't know. It depends on how they do it. It's a tricky franchise to deal with in this way. Like, DC kind of went up and down when they decided to continue it. So, with, I forget what they called that. Something, it was like Watchmen again or something. I can't remember. But they did a bunch of comics that were like beyond the original Watchmen. Some apparently were good, some apparently were not so good. So, you know, it's a tricky one to do. Like, Alan Moore is probably one of the greatest comic writers we've ever had. I'm not a fan of him, but I can totally accept that he is a terrific writer. I just don't like a lot of the stuff he writes about. But the things he's done for comics as a medium are pretty incredible. And it would be nice to see that kind of respected here. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't know exactly how this thing is going to play out. And I mean, that's probably good, because otherwise then I would have no reason to watch it. But at least then maybe I'd have more reason to watch it as well, because then I know what I'm getting into before I spend the time that I could have spent somewhere else. And that's a lot of what this comes down to. There is so much competition for our free time now that things have to try really hard to grab people. And I think this is something they expect to grab people. I expect it will grab people. Whether it's enough for what they want remains to be seen. But it will be interesting to see how it pans out. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Basically, yeah, I'm trying to catch up as much on the San Diego Comic-Con stuff as I can. I've just done a 12-hour shift at work. I was hoping that I would be able to start work on my Marvel Studios breakdown. At the moment, it's not going to happen today, so it means I'll be hopefully working on it tomorrow. I'm going to split it into talk about the shows and then talk about the movies in 2 separate videos. Don't know which order that's going to come out in. And then I'm going to do a breakdown of some other stuff that's happened. And obviously there's going to be a lot of reactions. There are so many things that got revealed that I still have to go through. So we'll see how all of this pans out. But yeah, so I've just done Watchmen. I'm probably going to do Jay and Silent Bob reboot. It will be the video later in the day, probably in a couple of hours from now. It depends on how I decide to pan out this day. This Jay and Silent Bob did come out technically just before Comic-Con, or before it actually technically was shown. A little early, so I'm a little late on it, but I'm finally getting around to it. I haven't watched it yet, and I'm pretty keen. I do like Kevin Smith, so. But anyway, guys, so there's a lot to look forward to this week, so my mind is a bit off because I am pretty tired at the moment. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the Watchmen trailer in the comments below. If there's anything from Comic-Con that you specifically would like me to do a reaction to, or talk about, or a discussion or something, you should drop that in as well. So that way I can, like discussions would be cool if you want me to, have a look at anything. In general, yeah, I can sort of work out something. Probably won't come out to the weekend if I do something like that, but we'll see how it happens. I might have time to get stuff done earlier. It just sort of depends on a bunch of other stuff. And yeah, and if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, and if you didn't like it, you can go over and click the dislike button, I suppose. And if you're new to the channel and you like reactions, you like the discussions, you're interested in my breakdowns of the Marvel stuff and other stuff from Comic-Con, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and if you want to know when it comes out, as it comes out, you can hit the bell. It's a thing people do, apparently. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
Elves are the original sorcerers of the continent. When humans and monsters arrived, elves taught humans how to turn chaos into magic. And then the humans slaughtered them.
Chaos is the most dangerous thing in this world.